I'm Taylor Richardson, aka Astronaut Starbright. I'm 14 years old and I advocate for girls, especially African American girls in STEM.
So why are you such an advocate for STEM?
When I grew up to become of age, I wanted girls, especially girls of color, who are interested in STEM and want to be astronauts or scientists, to know that they can accomplish anything with hard work and as long as they believe in themselves. Right now, I don't see a lot of women of color in STEM, so I try to change that by putting myself out there for African American girls who want to be in STEM, to see people who look like that in STEM.
Taylor got the name Astronaut Starbright when she went to space camp at the age of 9. At the age of 5 up to 9, Taylor just had a love for looking up at the stars. She drew the stars and moons constantly. She always had this passion of what's up there, what is beyond the earth, what is going on in the unknown. At school, the librarian gave her a book about Dr. Mae Jemison, who's the first African-American female astronaut to go into space. She really liked Mae Jemison. You know, Taylor kind of just idolizes Dr. Jemison in the fact that they have similarities as being female, being black, and just having a passion for space and stars. So by reading that book and learning the story of Mae Jemison, I think that is what actually sparked her interest into becoming an astronaut. One of the things to get her to that point was to go to space camp. So at the age of 9, she raised funds through GoFundMe and sent herself to space camp.
Dr. Mae Jemison went through the same thing I went through as a little kid, so after reading about her and her story, it kind of made me think, if she can do it, I can too.
I think they gave them nicknames, and because she was really bright and because she had a passion of love for looking up at the stars and drawing the stars, they just put Starbright together. When she was at space camp, she was actually the only African-American girl there out of hundreds of people. And so that led her to be very passionate at the age of 9 to come back home and say, "Mom, something's wrong with this picture. Why aren't there more girls of color?" Not just wanting to be astronauts, but why aren't there more girls of color who are in the field of STEM?
A year after space camp, I started to do my community work. I got started with my grandma because she always told me to give back to my community, and that's where I started off. I've been gaining a huge amount of hours doing many things, but the biggest thing I've done was my Taylor's Take Flight with a book drive. I would collect and donate books to give to young girls. A lot of the books had black girl representation, so that young girls of color can be exposed to people who look like them doing anything they want to. I received an award for my volunteer hours from the Governor Rick Scott. From those community service hours, I got an email from the White House saying if I wanted to see a special screening of the movie Hidden Figures, which of course was a yes. I enjoyed the opportunity. The experience was amazing. After seeing the movie, I decided to raise money for girls to see Hidden Figures because it was my first time seeing 3 black women involved in STEM, and I believed that it was the representation little black girls needed to see. I raised money by using GoFundMe. People just donated from there, and I kind of just did basic little updates every now and then, and that's really what made people stay active. I was very surprised about my Hidden Figures campaign. With all the support coming from many people, I raised an enormous amount of money that I never thought I would. We held 6 screenings for Hidden Figures at AMC theaters.
I really enjoyed the Hidden Figure screenings. I think to have kids experience that movie, it was pretty inspiring, and I think that the screenings shows girls that they can be mathematicians, engineers, or an astronaut.
screenings with Hidden Figures. I've got the opportunity to do many things. I got started with Light Dolls and I was their first doll of color. I've got the opportunity to speak at local libraries, March for Science, and TEDx.
Hi, my name's Taylor Richardson and I live in Jacksonville, Florida.
I was recently featured on the Scholastic Science magazine. I was the first African American girl to be on there, and it basically just talked about my story on how I started off little.
I actually love the fact that, you know, she's this girl of color who is trying to advocate for all girls to say, hey, we girls can do anything. So I'm really proud of that.
My third GoFundMe campaign was sending girls to see the movie A Wrinkle in Time, and I raised money because it was my first time seeing a black girl in a science fiction film. The campaign started off slow. Family and friends donated, and I kind of just skyrocketed. First, Chris Pine and J.J. Abrams donated an enormous amount of money to the campaign. Disney invited me to the Wrinkle in Time premiere because of the money I'd raised for the film. At the Wrinkle in Time premiere, I met a lot of important people who made me want to follow through with my dreams, such as Ava DuVernay, Oprah Winfrey, and a lot of others. When I was 14, Good Morning America Skyped me through live television for me to talk about my community service and raising money for girls to see A Wrinkle in Time. After our discussion, they flew me out to New York to meet one of the cast, which I didn't know at the time was going to be Oprah Winfrey.
How much money have you raised?
$50,000.
$50,000? That is amazing. You know what? I'm going to match your $50,000. There you go.
Thank you.
So now you got $100,000.
We were in Good Morning America, and Taylor got the opportunity to meet Oprah Winfrey, and I guess kind of, you know, it's around the world now when she asked Oprah the infamous question.
I wanted to ask, what's some advice you would give girls who look like me who want to make a change or be the change in the world?
Well, I have that advice for girls who look like you and for girls who don't, because the advice is really the same. The highest honor on earth that you will ever have is the honor of being yourself. That's what this movie is about.
Oprah said something to the effect that, you know, just be you, be the change you want to see. You know, the best thing you can do on this earth is to be your true self.
People think your job is to get up and go and raise money and take care of your family and stuff. That's an obligation that you have, but your only true job as a human being is to discover why you came, why you are here.
And, you know, even though she was talking to Taylor, I actually felt like she was talking to me. That message was just not for Taylor. I mean, even Oprah said it herself. What she's saying is not just for girls who look like Taylor, but all girls, all women, all people. I think in this day and everything that we have going on in the world, the best thing that we can do is to be our true self. I don't think you can get any better than, you know, Oprah Winfrey telling her to just be yourself, and being yourself, you're going to be just fine.
With all the support, I raised $100,000 to send girls to see the movie A Wrinkle in Time. Some family and friends were helping me set up by putting the goodie bags on the table, creating the photo booth.
So in the bag, Science Squirrel, and they featured Taylor on their cover. And also, she has the book A Wrinkle in Time.
I think the Wrinkle in Time screenings were very successful. For Wrinkle in Time, locally, we had 8 screenings here in Jacksonville. And then we also funded several screenings outside of Jacksonville, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Georgia, LA. I think so far to date, the furthest was all the way in Australia.
After my screenings, I was selected from Teen Vogue. My experience was just so amazing and fun. I got to be myself, meet amazing people, and just talk about the things that are important to us.
Hi, my name is Taylor Richardson.
You love how you have been able to ask for received guidance and support.
I got the opportunity to do a podcast with Tony Hernandez where we talked about what we like, what I do, and how important it is for Black girls to be represented in the community.
My guest today is 14 years old. She is not only an aspiring astronaut, she is a STEM girl, activist, advocate, and you know what? She's an inspiration to all girls.
I'm here today in beautiful Jacksonville, Florida with two amazing people, Tony and Taylor Richardson.
I'm very proud of all Taylor accomplished. I think that whatever Taylor is going to do, whatever she's going to be, whether it be going into space or whether her doing the calculations for space, she's definitely going to be a trailblazer. Her humbleness is what makes her special, and her pay-it-forward attitude to not just be a girl of color to go to Mars, but a girl of color who wants to lead or trailblaze that pathway for all girls to go into STEM roles and to hopefully join her in Mars as well.